lice. Hello guys, and welcome back to ExtraBriannaRenee. I am feeling a lot of things right now because this story is just a lot. It's just me making dumb decision after dumb decision after dumb decision, and just, if I could literally punch old Brianna in the face, I would. I was such an idiot, and like everything that happened in the story was completely my fault. I 100% did this to myself. I'm also feeling weird because I'm kind of known for story times on the internet. On my main channel, BriannaRenee, I do a lot of draw my lives and stuff where I just tell stories, but there's like pictures and that's all like voiceover and stuff. So I've never actually sat down and filmed a story time, but I'm known for story times, and it's a weird concept. It's something I'm trying out. I have no idea if I'm going to be good at telling stories in this format, but I'm excited to try and find out. Before I hop into this hot mess of a story time, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and subscribe to my main channel, BriannaRenee. And with all that being said, let's just hop into this really embarrassing story time. So as I'm sure you can tell from the title of this video, this story is about lice. What a fun topic. So I was in grade 10 when I got lice, which is really old to get lice. People normally get it in like elementary school, but I somehow managed to not get it throughout all of elementary school, and I got it in high school instead. Love that for me. So I'm pretty sure the way I got lice was from trying on hats in stores, which is why I never try on hats in stores anymore. If you guys do that, don't do it. You might get lice. That is what happened to me. I'm like 99% sure. I think that's the only way I could have gotten it because I didn't know anyone else who had it, and I did try on hats in a store, so pretty sure that's how it happened. Anyways, no matter how my dumbass got lice, I got lice. That's the point. But I did not admit to myself that I had lice for a very, very long time. So at first, my head was just kind of itchy, and I just somehow managed to brush that under the rug, you know, didn't think much of it. I'm just like, oh, I need to wash my hair or something. I don't know. I really didn't think much of it. I was just like, my head's itchy. Cool. But then the first time when I really should have caught on to the fact that I had lice was, first of all, I was taking a bath, like washing my hair in the bath, which is so gross. But up until like grade 11, I literally didn't take showers, only baths. Strictly a bath person. I genuinely do not understand. If I had to wash my hair in the bath now, oh my God, I would literally hate my life. But for some reason, I didn't clue into how great showers were at the time. So if I wanted to wash my body, if I wanted to wash my hair, no matter what it was, I took a bath. And the fact that I did this while having lice is just extra disgusting. I hate thinking about that. Like, anyways, I was taking a bath, washing my hair, when just a little lice, ew, this is so gross. I can't believe I'm telling the internet this. A little lice went on my forehead. And I kind of just like, you know, brushed it off and realized that's a bug. And, you know, I really should have like been like, okay, I should get my mom to check my head, like see if I have lice, like deal with this problem before it becomes a big problem. I did not have that much common sense. So I just decided to put it in the toilet and keep living my life as if nothing happened. So I finished washing my hair, you know, blow dry it, curl it, style it, whatever, and I'm just chilling. Keep living my life for another probably few days until this one's so bad. I was in class writing a test. Ew! When literally, oh my God, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. I swear to God, it fell from my head onto the paper. I very quickly brushed it off the paper, looked around to see if anyone saw. I don't think anyone did. And I was just like having a mini heart attack inside because, you know, this is twice now that a bug has fallen from my head. And my head is also itchy. So like, you think I'd come to the conclusion, I have lice. And like deep down, I did, but I just was so far in denial because I was in grade 10, you know, I was like, I'm too cool. I'm too old to get lice. But lice does not discriminate. Lice chose me. So although it literally fell from my head onto my paper in a public place where other people could have seen and made fun of me or like thought I was disgusting, I just continued to ignore it. And now comes a part of the story where I literally want to like shake myself and be like, how are you this dumb? I had a hair appointment coming up that I had booked weeks in advance, so it was before any of this lice stuff had happened. But when it came to the day of my hair appointment, I was like, I have two choices. I can either talk to my mom about this before going to my appointment, see if I have lice, cancel the appointment and save myself the embarrassment of going there and having them discover it, or I can be a giant dumbass and go anyways, knowing full well that I have lice and just not wanting to admit it to myself or anyone else. And that's the choice I made. I decided to go. I went to my hair appointment with a head full of lice. So when I'm going there, I am just filled with anxiety because it's like this inner battle of like, I know I have lice, but also just being in denial and be like, I don't have lice, everything's gonna be fine. And it's just like those two sides are going at it in my head the entire time I'm sitting in the salon chair. You think I would have backed out at some point, but I just followed through with the whole thing. Oh my gosh. So I'm sitting in the salon chair, the hairdresser comes out, you know, we're talking about what I wanna do. I wanna get some blonde highlights, I wanna cut a little off. And so she goes in the back, mixes like the hair dye and everything, comes back out, starts doing some highlights. She's about like 3 foils in when I can see her in the mirror, just kind of like looking very intensely at my head. She's kind of like digging a little bit with her finger, and in that moment I knew that she had found the lice, and I knew that I had the lice, and I knew I was going to be in a place where I could no longer ignore it. So she's just kind of like digging at my head, like, and I'm just watching her, waiting for her to tell me. And she ends up going in the back room. She's like, I'll be right back. And I'm like, okay. And then a couple minutes later, she comes back out and is like, can I talk to you in this room? So she pulls me aside, tells me in this room that I have lice, and immediately tears. I just start bawling my eyes out, and I'm in grade 10. I'm just crying because finally I heard someone say it out loud, and there was no more denying the fact that I had lice. It was just established at this point. There was no getting out of it. I had lice. So obviously she tells me that we can't continue with the hair appointment because you can't go to a hairdresser when you have lice. So I call my mom to pick me up, and she picks me up. I'm bawling. I have to tell her that I had lice. And yeah, from there we kind of just deal with it. I don't know why I didn't do that from the beginning. I literally just should have told her and we could deal with it. But I also have an insane amount of hair. Like every hairdresser I've ever gone to is like, this is the thickest hair I've ever dealt with. Every single hairdresser is like, wow, this is insane. So trying to get lice out of this mane is like a lot of work. My mom ended up having to get 4 of her friends to come over, and I just remember all of them combing through my hair with like these lice, I don't know, combs, I guess. And then they had this one electric one that would like go through my hair, and then if it hit a lice or an egg or something, it'd be like, zzz, and it felt like torture. Like I was in a torture chamber, and she was just combing through my head, and every time it hit one, it was just like electrocuting it on my head. Honestly, having lice, 0 to 10, would not recommend. I hated every second of it, and it took me about 4 or 5 days to get rid of it, I think. But it was like every single day we had to comb through it with these things. I was doing these like treatments that were supposed to kill it, and it was just a lot. We also had to take everything I owned and like put it in baggies, because if you put it in a baggie and put it in like the freezer or something, within 24 hours, I think everything's supposed to be dead. So yeah, it was just a long process. I ended up calling some of my friends because they're like, hey, why aren't you at school? And I was just like, I have lice. Like I was bawling. I didn't want anyone to know I had lice. And they were like, fine, like they're my friends. They're not gonna like hate on me or judge me for it. But like I didn't want them to know. I was so embarrassed. And yeah, that's basically my story. There's not really a big conclusion. It's kind of just like, I ignored a problem until it blew up in my face and I couldn't ignore it anymore. I feel like this story says a lot about me and how I like to deal with problems. I'm naturally very bad at that. I will just let it get away from me. I'm just like, ignore it, ignore it, ignore it. And then it gets to a point where I can't ignore it anymore. I've gotten better at that. But yeah, that's basically how I dealt with all my problems at that age. If you've ever had lice, let me know how it was down below. Was your experience as bad as mine? Because mine was pretty freaking awful. I hated every second of it. And let me know if you guys want more story times. I know this one was kind of short. I feel like this was like a mini story time, but I just thought it was a good story and I wanted to share, even though it's really embarrassing. Anyways, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time with a brand new video. Bye!